Across the galaxy, there was a rule everyone had heard about. It was not written in law. It was not enforced by fleets. It was simply spoken. Do not enter human space uninvited. Most species laughed when they heard it. Rules were backed by power, by walls, by weapons. Humans had none of those on their borders. No massive gates, no warning beacons, no constant patrols. Human space looked open. Quiet, almost welcoming. To many civilizations, this made no sense. How can a rule exist without force? Alien scholars asked. The answer was always the same. Humans do not need walls. But that answer never satisfied anyone. For thousands of years, humanity had remained calm, diplomatic, polite. They attended councils, signed treaties, and avoided conflict whenever possible. They did not threaten. They did not boast. So when humans spoke of a rule, the galaxy assumed it was symbolic, a suggestion, not a command. In council chambers, leaders joked about it. Human space has one rule. One delegate laughed. Who enforces it? Their manners. Others agreed. Humans were traders, scientists, explorers, not guardians of forbidden zones. Over time, the rule became a rumor, then a myth, something told to young pilots as a curiosity. Stay out of human space, instructors would say jokingly. As if humans would notice, that belief spread far and wide, until one fleet decided to test it. The fleet belonged to a powerful alien union, known for probing borders, testing limits. They had crossed many restricted zones before, and returned safely every time. To them, rules only mattered when enforced. Human space looked empty on their charts, rich in resources and strangely quiet. This rule is fear without teeth, the fleet commander said. If humans wanted privacy, they would defend it. The mission was approved quickly. Quietly, no war declaration, no threats. Just a simple border crossing. The fleet entered human space expecting resistance. They expected warning signals, emergency messages. Nothing came, no alarms, no communication. The stars looked the same, the space felt normal. This proves it, the commander said confidently. The rule means nothing. The fleet moved deeper. Sensors scanning, weapons ready but unused. Human stations appeared on distant scans, but none responded. No patrols approached. No questions were asked. The silence felt strange, but not threatening. Some officers felt uneasy. Why are they not reacting? One asked. They are slow, another replied. Peace made them careless, the commander agreed. Humans had lived too long without war. They had forgotten how to defend. Or so he believed, far away. Unseen by the fleet, something changed. Human deep space sensors had already detected the intrusion. Long before the fleet crossed the border, no alerts were sent, no announcements made. Human command centers did not rush. They simply noted the entry, logged the time, confirmed the identity. One quiet message passed through secure channels. Uninvited entry confirmed. No emotion followed the message. No urgency, just acknowledgement. On human worlds, daily life continued. People worked, children learned. Nothing appeared different. But in places no outsider knew about, systems awakened, paths adjusted, exit routes recalculated. The alien fleet continued forward. Growing more confident with every light year, they shared reports back home. Human space is undefended. The rule is false. Celebration messages followed. Soon others will follow, the commander said. This myth will die. He did not realize the truth. Human space was not undefended. It was already closed. The rule had never been about stopping entry. It was about what happened after. As the fleet prepared to jump deeper into human territory, their navigation system hesitated. Just for a moment, an officer frowned. Minor error, he said. The commander nodded. Proceed, the jump completed. but something felt wrong behind them. The path they came from did not look the same. Routes adjusted, data shifted. The fleet did not panic. They still believed the rule was meaningless. They believed human space was open. They believed leaving would be easy. They were wrong. Because the rule no one believed was never meant to scare visitors. It was meant to explain reality. In human space, permission mattered and return was never guaranteed. The alien fleet moved deeper into human space. And still, nothing happened. No warning messages arrived. No patrol ships appeared. The stars looked calm. Too calm to the fleet crew. This silence felt strange, but not dangerous. Humans truly do not care, one officer said. They probably did not even notice us, the commander agreed. Peace had softened them, made them slow. That was the belief. The fleet continued forward, scanning planets, mapping stations. Human structures appeared on sensors. Mining platforms, research hubs, all active, all silent. No one contacted them. No one questioned them. This is embarrassing, the commander said. They claim a rule, yet do nothing. Laughter spread across the bridge. But silence has weight, and slowly, that weight pressed down. Communications within the fleet began to lag. Not failing, just slower. Orders arrived seconds late. Data refreshed too quietly. An engineer frowned at his console. Minor delay, he reported. Nothing serious. The fleet jumped again, moving closer to populated human systems. Still nothing. No interception. No diplomacy. The absence of response became unsettling. Some officers felt watched, though scanners showed empty space. Does anyone else feel this? One asked. You are imagining things, another replied. But the feeling did not fade. On the outer edge of the fleet, one ship reported a sensor anomaly, strange echoes, faint distortions. The commander dismissed it. Background noise, he said. Moments later, that ship stopped responding. Not violently, not suddenly. Its signal simply vanished. The bridge fell quiet. Communication loss, an officer said carefully. No distress signal, the commander frowned. A malfunction, he decided. Log it and move on. But tension crept into the crew. They had crossed many borders before. Lost ships to accidents, but this felt different. The fleet slowed slightly, adjusting formation. Another ship reported a navigation error. Its jump calculations refused to complete. Reset the system, the commander ordered. The reset worked, but the error returned moments later. Still, no human message arrived, no warning, no explanation. Only silence, far away, unseen, human systems adjusted. No ships moved yet, no weapons activated. Paths were being measured, exits evaluated. Human space was not empty. It was attentive. The alien fleet jumped again. And again, with each jump, the stars felt less familiar. Charts updated without permission. Old routes disappeared. New ones appeared briefly. Navigation is behaving oddly, an officer said. But it still functions, the commander nodded. Stay focused, but doubt crept in. Why would human space allow this intrusion so calmly? Back on human worlds, nothing changed. People ate, worked, rested, but in deep command centers. Quiet confirmations continued, fleet path confirmed, exit routes identified, containment probability rising. The alien fleet entered a wide, empty system. No stations, no planets, just stars and silence. This place feels wrong, one officer whispered. The commander studied the map. This is still human space, he said. There is nothing here. That was the problem. Nothing felt intentional. The fleet prepared to turn back. Satisfied they had proven the rule meaningless. The commander ordered a jump toward the border. The navigation system paused. A delay, then an error. Retry, the commander snapped. The system recalculated. found a route, but it was not the same route they had used before. Acceptable, the commander said. Proceed. The jump completed. When they arrived, the stars looked unfamiliar. The border was not there. The fleet checked its position again. And again, they were still inside human space. Confusion spread. Plot another exit, the commander ordered. The navigation system hesitated longer this time. Limited options available, the system replied. The bridge fell silent. For the first time, fear appeared. Not panic, not terror, but doubt. The commander finally understood something was wrong. Human space was not silent because no one cared. It was silent because everything was under control. The rule was not enforced loudly. It was enforced quietly, and now, deep inside human space, with routes shifting and exits fading, the alien fleet realized the truth. They had entered without permission, and silence was the first step of the rule. The alien fleet finally understood something was wrong, but they did not yet understand why they had crossed borders before. Walls, gates, defense lines. Every powerful empire had them. Humans had none. No massive barriers, no glowing warning fields, no armed checkpoints. Human space looked open, almost careless. That was the mistake. Humans did not believe in borders made of metal. They believed in borders made of rules. A border built with walls could be broken. A border built with fear could fail. But a border built with control needed no shape. Long before the alien fleet arrived, humanity had decided something important. Space could not be owned, but movement could be managed. So instead of guarding edges, humans learned to shape paths. They studied how ships moved, how decisions were made, how panic changed behavior. Human space was not defended like a fortress. It was managed like a system. Every jump route, every safe corridor, every unstable region. Mapped, measured, understood. The galaxy believed borders stopped enemies. Humans believed borders trapped them. That was why human space felt empty. The alien fleet moved freely, but only where humans allowed. Every jump they made was watched, not by ships, but by prediction. Human systems did not track ships. They tracked intention, where the fleet wanted to go, what they expected to find when the fleet changed course. Human models adjusted instantly. The fleet thought they were exploring. They were being guided inside hidden human command centers. Quiet confirmations continued, movement patterns stable, exit probability decreasing, no excitement, no urgency, just calculation. The alien commander ordered a full scan of the surrounding space. The results confused him. No blockades, no minefields. Nothing that explained the navigation failures. Human space should not work like this, he said. An officer answered carefully. Maybe it does. The fleet attempted another jump. Toward a different direction. The system hesitated, then offered a route. The jump completed. But the stars were unfamiliar again. They were still inside human space. Every exit pointed inward. The truth became clear. Human space did not push invaders away. It pulled them in, not physically, logically. Humans had learned that most enemies defeated themselves. By rushing, by reacting, by choosing obvious paths. So human space removed obvious paths. The alien fleet began to feel smaller. Not because ships were missing, but because choices were gone. Every decision led to fewer options. This was not defense. It was selection. Back in human records, the philosophy was simple. Anyone invited would always find a way out. Anyone uninvited would slowly lose the idea of leaving. The rule was never spoken loudly. It was simply practiced. Human borders were not lines on a map. They were conditions. Meet the conditions. You pass freely. Ignore them. And space itself becomes uncooperative. The alien fleet tried to contact human authorities again. No response came. not because humans refused to speak, but because speaking was unnecessary. The rule had already answered. Fear began to spread among the crew. Not panic, not screaming, a quiet fear. The kind that comes from understanding too late. They reviewed human history again. Searching for clues, that was when they saw it. Humans had never truly trusted peace. They had survived too much to believe in permanent safety. Every era of calm in human history was followed by preparation, not for conquest, but for containment. They did not ask, "How do we stop enemies?" They asked, "What happens after enemies ignore us?" The alien commander stared at the star map. Human space surrounded them, not with ships, but with certainty. He finally understood why humans needed no borders. Borders were for those who reacted late. Humans acted early. They did not defend edges. They controlled outcomes. The fleet slowed, not by order, but by exhaustion. The rule was working, not loudly, not violently, but completely, deep inside human space, with exits fading and choices shrinking. The alien fleet learned the final truth. Human space had one rule, and it did not need to be enforced twice. The alien fleet had stopped moving forward, not because they wanted to, but because there was nowhere left to go. Every jump option pointed deeper into human space. Every calculation ended the same way: stay. The commander stared at the navigation display. Routes that once looked clear were gone, replaced by uncertainty. "This is impossible," he said quietly. No weapons had fired. No ships had attacked them. Yet they were trapped. The fleet attempted one last coordinated jump. Pooling power, synchronizing engines, the system accepted the command. Paused, then failed, a soft error message appeared. Route unavailable. Fear spread across the bridge. Not loud, not chaotic, controlled fear, the kind that sinks deep then. For the first time since entering human space, something appeared: human ships. They did not arrive suddenly. They did not jump in with force. They simply became visible, one by one, at a distance. Dark shapes against the stars, calm, still. The alien crew froze. No attack formation, no weapon charge, just presence. A single human ship moved slightly forward, enough to be noticed. A message appeared on all alien screens, clear and simple. "You entered without permission." The commander swallowed. He opened a channel immediately. "This was a mistake," he said. "We meant no harm." The response came quickly. "Harm is not required." The alien commander tried again. "We will leave at once." There was a pause, then another message. Leaving was never part of the rule. Silence filled the bridge. The meaning settled slowly. Human ships began to move. Not aggressively, not threateningly. They repositioned, closing space. The alien fleet felt it. Power levels dropped gently. Shields faded without impact. Weapons powered down on their own. "No explosions," an officer whispered. "They are disabling us." The commander realized the truth. This was not a battle. It was enforcement. Human technology did not destroy. It decided. Ship after ship lost control. Not violently, not suddenly, calmly. The fleet drifted, alive, silent. The human ships held position. Watching, waiting. Another message arrived. "You will remain here. You will not move. You will not return. No insult. No anger, just instruction." The alien commander lowered his head. "We should have believed the rule," he said softly. Around him, officers understood the same thing. Human space was not defended by force. It was protected by consequence. The human ships began to withdraw slightly, leaving the fleet intact, but trapped. Human space adjusted again, sealing the area, stabilizing it. The fleet was now part of the system, contained, forgotten, far away. The Galactic Council received the first reports. No battle, No casualties, no return. Confusion turned into fear. They enforced it, one delegate said. Without war, the council leader nodded slowly. That makes it worse. Across the galaxy. Navigational charts updated. Human space was marked differently now. Not hostile, not forbidden. Final. Pilots changed routes. Commanders issued warnings. Never test the rule. The alien fleet remained where it was. A silent example. They had entered uninvited. And the rule had been enforced. Not loudly, not violently, but completely. News of the incident spread slowly across the galaxy. Not because humans hid it, but because there was little to report. No battle footage, no wreckage, no victory speeches. Just one fact. A fleet entered human space uninvited and never came back. The Galactic Council gathered in silence. Screens showed the sealed region, marked clearly, unreachable. Delegates asked the same question again and again. Where are they? No one answered, because everyone already knew. They were still there, alive, contained. Humanity had not destroyed them. That detail mattered. It told the galaxy this was not anger, it was policy. Council investigators requested explanations. Formal statements. Humanity replied with a single document. One page, one sentence. Human space has one rule, nothing more. The council tried to argue, tried to demand oversight. But the arguments felt weak. Human space was sovereign. The fleet had entered without permission. No law had been broken. Only a rule had been ignored. Other civilizations reviewed their own orders, their own warnings. They realized something uncomfortable. Their rules needed fleets, threats, fear. Human rules needed belief, and belief had now been proven. Military academies added new lessons. Not about human weapons, but about human restraint. In human space, instructors said, you will not be attacked first, but you will not be allowed to leave. Pilots adjusted routes. Traders rerouted cargo. No one complained. The price of curiosity was now clear. Even aggressive empires changed tone. Softened demands, delayed expansion. Not because humanity threatened them, but because humanity no longer needed to. Silence had done the work. The trapped fleet remained in place, supplied just enough to survive. No suffering, no rescue, a living reminder. Some alien leaders called it cruel. Others called it brilliant. Humans called it necessary. On Earth, there were no celebrations, no monuments. Human leaders met briefly, reviewed the outcome. The rule worked, one said. Yes, another replied. And we did not have to change it. That mattered most. Humanity did not expand borders, did not claim new systems. They simply returned to normal life. The galaxy watched closely for signs of ambition. Found none that frightened them more than conquest ever could. Years passed, then decades. The sealed region stayed quiet, undisturbed. Children in distant systems learned about it in school. Why can't we go there? They asked. Teachers answered carefully. Because permission matters. The phrase entered galactic language. Human permission. It meant final approval. Absolute trust. Diplomats worked harder than ever to earn it. Trade agreements changed. Exploration rules tightened. Not because humans demanded control, but because everyone understood the consequence of ignoring it. The Council finally passed a resolution. Human space would be marked as restricted. Permanent, not hostile, but final. The vote was unanimous. No one wanted to be remembered as the Second Fleet. The alien commander, still alive in containment, recorded a message for history. We thought rules without walls were weak, he said. We were wrong. He paused before adding, some rules exist because they do not need to be tested. That message spread farther than any threat ever had. Humanity did not respond to it. They did not need to. The galaxy had learned the lesson on its own. Human space had one rule, and it had been proven once. That was enough. No one tested it again. Not out of fear, but out of understanding. Because in a galaxy full of noise, human silence had become the loudest warning of all, and that silence still stands.